If you grew up in the 80s like I did, you probably had a Nintendo Entertainment System in your house. And one of the games that you probably had that you spent hours playing was a game called The Legend of Zelda. If you've ever thought that Legend of Zelda would make a really cool RPG, like me, think I have an RPG just for you. Hey everyone, welcome to Victory Condition Gaming. My name is Doug. Today on the show, we're going to be looking at Heroes of Cerulea. Now, we've featured this game on the show back when it was on Kickstarter. We had Lucas Falk, who is the designer of this game, on, and he also did an actual play, which if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It was super fun, super amazing. I got the finished copy in the mail about a month ago, I think. Yeah, I think it was about a month ago at this point, and it's been crazy, so I haven't got a chance to review it. But we're going to review it right now. But in the meantime, let me know in the comments if you're a Legend of Zelda player, if you grew up with it like I did. Also, if you like these types of videos, you know, make sure to hit that like button down below. And if you're coming across the channel for the very first time, really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. So let's take a look at Heroes of Cerulea from Lucas Falk and Black Fist Publishing. Now, Black Fist Publishing is, again, another Swedish publisher and studio, and I know that Lucas has worked and collaborated with the Stockholm Cartel, so you kind of see some design similarities between this and Morkborg, just a little bit. Let's just start off by looking at the book itself. The book looks like a Nintendo Entertainment cartridge, which is awesome. I love that so much. It's got, like, even the cover is indented. It's got this nice, almost like a sticker overlay for the logo. So it looks like it was like you can just plug it right into your Nintendo Entertainment System. And I just think that that's super clever. And on the back, again, has some indentation. Has like the Trinity logo, kind of like a Triforce. The design, the look of this product is super slick. Love it so much. The game itself, the book itself, is about 62 pages. And again, on the back, just like the Morkborg book, it has a rule summary for two pages. And that's kind of really one of the strong points of this game, is that even though it's rules light, there's a lot of game in here in this book. As you're gonna see here in just a moment. Heroes of Cerulea, the opening spread is a world map, which has the different zones of the world, and then it also gives you your contents, and it kind of goes over the setting. As you can see, some very similar Legend of Zelda kind of graphics. And that's one thing that I really enjoy about this game, is that it has you embrace that video game, and they say it in the book, it has you embrace that video game logic in the form of a tabletop role-playing game. And I think that's pretty clever, really slick. So, you know, when you use a bomb on a crack, it opens up an entrance to an underground dungeon, or if you have a key, it's gonna pretty much unlock any door. And then once you've used it, it goes away. So it's very similar to what Legend of Zelda is. With this game, you're going to be rolling D4s. Now, this is the one thing that I'm not a huge fan of with this game, is that it uses D4s. And in fact, I might get some D12s that are D4s. Just for this game, because there's something really nice about rolling dice at a game table when you're playing an RPG. D4s just, they don't do that, which, it's okay, but I really kind of like rolling dice when I play TTRPGs. So in Heroes of Cerulea, you have 3 core attributes. You have might, bravery, and insight, and when you build your character, you have a point spread of 3, 2, 1 to put in any of those 3 categories. So one attribute's going to have 3, one attribute's going to have 2, and one attribute's going to have 1. When you roll for something, whatever your score is in that attribute, that's how many d4s you're going to roll, and you're going to take the highest d4 roll. With the d4 results, basically, a 4 is a success, you succeed, you get to do it, and you succeed unscathed. 3, if it's a dangerous action that you're trying to do, then you still get to succeed, but you lose a heart. And hearts are one of the things that you have with your character, and we'll talk about that in just a second. If it's a 1 or a 2, then you fail. But even failing doesn't always mean that you don't push the story forward. You always want to try to push the story forward as a GM. In Heroes of Cerulea, a player has hearts and they have energy, and you start out with 3 hearts, 3 energy. Hearts are basically your life. Whenever you get hit by a monster or something, it depletes a heart. When you find a heart, it restores a heart. It's as easy as that. With energy you usually use for different special abilities, and each kin that you can play in this game has some sort of special ability or two. And we'll go over kins here in just a moment. But it's super rules light, so there are 5 different kin that you can play. You can play an elf, you can play an avian, you can play a geon, you can play Aquarian, and a seedling. Elf is basically like an elf is basically an elf. And then avian is like a bird-like creature. Geon is like a rock person. Aquarian, which is like a fish person, like they're a water person. And a seedling, which is like a tree-like person. So you have each of those, and then each of them has their own special ability. So in this game, what you want to do is you want to collect the 3 pieces of the Trinity, which is like the Triforce, by going through 3 dungeons, obtaining a piece of the Trinity, and then that, of course, unlocks the final dungeon, which you go through, and you defeat the Shadow King, which is Ganon. Kind of. I mean, it's not, but you know where this game is going. I mean, this is definitely a love letter to Legend of Zelda. Super easy to pick up. The art is amazing in here. It's got some wonderful 8-bit lo-fi art. For only a few pages, there are definitely quite a few different bad guys that it lets you insert into games, and it gives you 3 dungeons, and then, of course, that final dungeon to kind of just play out. The one thing about this game is that it's not a long-form campaign-style game. You're going to have a very set beginning and end. Like, all the time that you're going to be playing, there's definitely an end in sight. So that's important. I think that's great. So if you've got players that want to kind of try out something new, and they only want to play it for like 3-4 sessions, Heroes of Cerulea is definitely a game to kind of pick up and play. I kind of love the fact that this game encourages you to build your own dungeons as well, because, you know, I remember growing up, and even my brother did this all the time, was like, we would draw like world maps for video game levels all the time, and this is perfect for that. You can just draw your own maps and everything, especially if you love that, you know, especially if you love designing that 8-bit art and those maps. This is perfect for it. The other thing that I will tell you is that this game does have really great solo rules. So if you're looking for a really great solo option, check out this Heroes of Cerulea, and then get the PDF Hero of Cerulea. And basically what it does, it lets you play this game solo with your attributes. I think they're buffed up at least by 1 on every attribute. So instead of 3-2-1, you start out 4-3-2, and it just gives you a great way to play this game solo. Yeah, I think this is a really solid product. Again, the book is only 62 pages, so it's a rather thin book, but there is so much gameplay in here, and just like Mortborg, you know, go have fun with it. You know, create epic stories and epic, you know, dungeon crawls, because, you know, that's what this is for. This is for us who... It's created for those of us that grew up with Legend of Zelda, and whereas I don't really like to spend hours in front of a video game console, I do like to spend hours at a tabletop with friends creating stories, and this definitely kind of merges those two together in a perfect combination. So that's my take on Heroes of Cerulea from Black Fist Publishing and designed by Lucas Falk. Really solid product. I'll put a link to where you can pick up a copy of this game in their web store and online. And then if you're also kind of on the fence on it, I'll put the link for the drive-through RPG option so you can pick this up in PDF. And I think once you do, though, part of the appeal is just to have this book and have it look like a Nintendo Entertainment cartridge, which is super rad, and I love it so much. If you like this review, please hit that like button down below. If you picked up a copy of Heroes of Cerulea, let me know in the comment as well. I'd love to hear. I think this is going to be one of those RPGs that is going to be... It's going to have like a cult following, I think. I think people are going to... Once they play it, they're going to have a lot of fun with it, and then they're going to get others to play it, which is super, super rad. And it's great. It's rules light. I think it's a great family RPG as well, because, you know, kids love to play video games. And yeah, 8-bit video games aren't quite as flashy as video games today, but, you know, this is what made those games popular. Titles like the one that this game is based off of. So, alright. This has been Victory Condition Gaming, because winning shouldn't be the only victory condition when you get to the table. We'll see you next time.